Hi everyone, this is Johnnyonoes and I'm playing X3, the Albion Prelude, and in this Let's Learn video I'm going to teach you all about how to compare and contrast different ships. Because the question of what's the best ship per class is a hard one to answer. Sure, there's a couple outliers like the Spring Blossom that's super fast for an M6, but most of the other ships out there and most different classes, they're good in their own different ways. So you got to really decide, what do you need per, what you're doing in the game right now. So I'm very early in the game, so I'm just doing a lot of salvaging and stealing ships and selling them. Maybe do a mission here or there. So really, what I'm looking for is like a really nice fast mover, and the Mamba really accommodates that. If you take a look at its stats, all you got to do is either go into the R menu, or you can go into the station menu and go to landed ships. So I got both my ships landed here. And then you hit U when you highlight it. So the Mamba itself is a really nimble M3. It's got 210 meters per second of speed. The acceleration and steering is phenomenal, and I didn't even upgraded the steering yet on this ship. Then you start looking at things like the max shield and max laser energy, and you're kind of going, I wish I had a little bit of oomph in my ship that I'm just not getting with the Mamba. The other thing I noticed is that there really is no turret on this Mamba. So a lot of the M3s have turrets that really aid with destroying missiles or some of the smaller ships that will be pestering you, especially those drones that I'm playing a pirate, so I've been dealing with a lot of drones being sent out by the different trade ships, so those are kind of a pain. But turrets really help out with that because it allows you to kind of put a faster weapon on there, something like a pack, a particle accelerator cannon, or an impulse ray emitter, or something much more expensive like the pulse beam emitter. So so what we got here is we got speed and maneuverability, and we're sacrificing max shield and laser energy. So that's my Mamba right there. I'm gonna go to the Perseus and let's just take a look at what we got. Right off the bat, it's really noticeable that the ship is, maybe 60 meters per second slower. The acceleration is nowhere near as good, and the steering, I think, is comparable. But then right off the bat, it's like, okay, I've got three 25 megajoule shields, as well as a great deal more shield power generation. Then you have, laser energy. I think this is 1,200 megajoules more of laser energy, where the reload rate is, I think, 30 units higher. We didn't look at the cargo because I don't care too much about the cargo because I'm constantly picking stuff up and selling it. I'm not doing any like huge transfers of cargo or anything. When we looked at the weapons on the two ships, that they're both the same as well. They kind of have the same array. You have your three staples along with the fragmentation bomb launcher and some of the other cooler weapons, such as the pulse beam emitter is just a phenomenal a phenomenal weapon for just stripping shields down like super quickly. So in terms of like weapon selection, we're good, we're even. But then right here is the big one. It's got a turret on the back. So I'm getting shields, I'm getting more laser energy, I've got a turret. It's time to decide. Like, this ship kind of has what I'm looking for. I need something a little bit more beefy. I need some more shields. I want to be able to get into the fray more. I want to deal with those response, spawns that come up because of the improved races mod that I have on here. So I need something that's going to have a little bit more oomph, and I think this is the ship for now. Like, obviously, it's possible to just go and get another ship later, steal another ship later. So this is a ship that I'd probably switch to, but then I have to decide. I'm also really poor too. Like, I've just started the game. I've got 770 credits to my name. An M3 can go for a good amount of money, maybe in the hundreds of thousands of credits. So it could be worth it for me to just keep the Mamba now, because like if I sell my Mamba, it's obviously going to be a little cheaper than the Perseus. So you really got to take all those factors into consideration. So instead of beating around the bush here, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. Based off of the comparisons, I'm going to keep the Mamba, I'm going to sell the Perseus, and then use the funds that I got from the Perseus to upgrade my Mamba a little bit further. I do enjoy the speed in the early game, especially when you don't have a jump drive, especially when you don't have a lot of resources at your disposal. So that's kind of, I wanted to share what my thoughts were when, considering different ships. Hopefully it was helpful. If you yourself have tips on, like, what ships do you prefer, what attributes do you prefer, please leave them in the comments. I'd really appreciate to hear what other people's opinions are on it. All right, folks, so this is Johnnyonoes playing X3, the Albion Prelude. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.